I'm Starborn. Remember, to be a star, you have to shine your own light, follow your own path, and not be afraid of the darkness, because that's when stars shine brightest. If you've been looking at our website, starborninstitute.org, you would already know that the title of tonight's show is Mending Fences. And that is because today there is a fabulous new moon at 23 degrees of Cancer. And there are 6 planets in the water signs. 4 of them are in Cancer alone. And Cancer rules the home and the family. It rules real estate. It rules women, and it rules our feelings. And it rules agriculture and mining, restaurants, good cooking, and it also rules Congress, America, and Canada. And above all, since it's in the sign of Cancer, and Cancer rules the traditional 4th house of home and last half of life, and so it rules endings. So there is the possibility, even as we're trying to mend fences, that there can be some sort of ending on the horizon. It can be very well done, though, and it can be done with compassion, because there is a grand trine in water signs. Those 4 planets in Cancer, which are the Sun, the new moon, and the moon rules Cancer, so it's very strong there, and Mars and Mercury are all trining Neptune in Pisces, which is at home in the sign it rules, and Pisces rules dreams as well as charity and forgiveness. So there can be compassion for those less fortunate. Those 5 planets are also being trined by a very steadfast Saturn in Scorpio, and so that simply means that since Scorpio is a fixed financial sign, that there won't be quite enough money around to do everything, and that perhaps some money has been delayed, but it could be coming to others, particularly the less fortunate, in order to mend fences and sort of get on with their lives, which is wonderful. And so that is what we can be doing. We can be thinking of ways to go ahead and mend fences or get over things or settle issues, so that all of us can go forward in our life and not be caught in any kind of confrontation or stagnation. That makes sense, doesn't it? Right ahead of the 4 planets in Cancer are 2 more, and they are Venus and Jupiter in Leo. Jupiter is at 25 degrees of Leo, and Venus has now gone ahead of it, and Venus is at 29 degrees of Leo, which is where the royal fixed star Regulus is, which is said to have the brightness of 100 of our suns. It's really pretty powerful. So, since it is at the 29th degree of fate, it means we really do have to decide who and what we really love, because even if we're asked to make a sacrifice, it would be worth it, don't you think? So those 6 planets, the 4 in Cancer and the 2 in Jupiter in Leo, indicate a need to go forward right now, since the planets are doing that, which is good. And as I mentioned, it can be done with compassion, since there's a grand trine in water signs. There is also a T-cross in cardinal signs, and that is because the same 4 planets in Cancer, which is a cardinal sign, are all being squared by Uranus in Aries, another cardinal sign. Uranus and Mars squaring each other always indicates sudden upsets, danger, and there can be rebellion, there can be attacks, there can certainly be the kind of upsets that occur with the things that Uranus rules, which are electronics, aviation, space, anything that's moving through the air too quickly. And Mars also is a planet of passion, but war and anger, envy and jealousy. So when these 2 malefic planets are in harsh aspect to each other, you can pretty much expect the unexpected. So that's a harsh angle. And then the 4 planets in Cancer are also being squared by Pluto in Capricorn, which rules management in large corporations or government agencies, or people who are powerful enough to change policies right now. That same Uranus is squaring Pluto as well. So not everyone's getting along right now, and compromise can be rather difficult. That's why this is such a good new moon, because the water signs are healing. And there are 6 planets in those water signs in good aspects. So maybe we can heal up a little bit, which would be great. There are also 3 planets that are retrograde now. And when there are 3 or more planets retrograde or going backward in their orbits, it's always a good time to slow down and double check everything, or maybe go back and tie up loose ends and finish things instead. Saturn is retrograde in Scorpio, meaning there can be some delayed money now that can be coming your way, or even if it is coming your way, it may not be quite as much as you wish it was, but still it is being strongly trined by the planets in Cancer and Neptune in Pisces, so that's to the good. And since Saturn in Scorpio is trining Mars in Cancer, it is an indication that those two malefic planets are getting along, and that you can harness your energy in a very constructive way to slowly but surely succeed, perhaps by paying down bills or trying to get out of debt and save more. That would be a good idea. And so Saturn is retrograde, Pluto in Capricorn is retrograde, indicating a change in management or reversal of policy. And then Neptune itself is retrograde right now, meaning that people can be rethinking who is really deserving and who isn't. Or it can be, since this grand trine is in water signs and it's trining that Neptune in Pisces, that you, with a little bit extra money, may want to go ahead and make a dream come true right now, and you may need to mend a few fences in order to get cooperation from other people, and that would be just fine. Okay, what does this idea of mending fences mean to all 12 of the sun signs? Well, Aries, for you, I think that one of two things can be on your horizon, and I mean your immediate horizon. One of them could be that you want to make a sudden change, and that can be prompted by people who are wanting to mend fences, or wanting to get on in their lives, or wanting to clear the air in one way or another. And you may not like what they are actually saying when they do clear the air, because Mars in Cancer and the other planets in Cancer, including the new moon, are all squaring your sun sign where you have Uranus. So you may not be agreeing with the pressure that other people are putting on you right now, and Pluto in Capricorn is also squaring that Uranus and your sun sign. So changes in management would not necessarily favor you. But at the same time, because Uranus is a planet of sudden change and it's being beautifully trined by Venus and Jupiter in Leo, it simply means that you can get a lot of wonderful backing from people who can be cheering you on to make a sudden change or to go in a different direction right now. So if you were just going to want to take off and surprise everybody, you'd have some pretty good backing with that, Aries. So I hope you consider that. This is an excellent time to make a move, either physically moving from your home or redecorating, or this could be a time when you want to move in with others and sort of cut your overhead a little bit so you can pay off your bills. So that can all work to your advantage. And I would try to get away from a heavy-duty, highly pressured situation, because it really isn't going to get better at this time. And that's why you really need to move on if you can. Okay, what does it mean to a Taurus? Well, Taurus, this is a time when I hate to say it, but the party is over. And what I mean by that is that Saturn in Scorpio is opposing your sun sign, and it is magnificently aspected by the new moon today. It's got a whole lot of backup, and that simply means that there can be a matter from the past that involves an old debt or a bill or even taxes that is coming back to haunt you right now. And so that's why the party could be over, because there can be much higher expenses. Or if you have been investing on margin, then you would have to come up with the money for something that isn't worth half as much as you thought it was. That could be a bad deal as well. The other reason the party could be over, though, is because Venus, your own ruler, is at that fateful 29th degree of Leo, and it is exactly squaring the 29th degree in your sign, which is where there is a blind star. Jupiter, too, is squaring your sun sign. And that's why the party is over, because there is the possibility of some sort of betrayal, or there is the possibility now that you can be realizing you were a little blind to something that has to do with a love affair, or with sports, or some gambling situation, and that could, suddenly make you sober up in one way or another and realize you might have overspent yourself a little bit, and it perhaps has not been worth it, and now you need to sort of you need to withdraw a little bit and really pay down your bills if you can. Jupiter is coming into Virgo and will be trining your sun in August, and that is when you can sort of go ahead little by little on sounder financial footing. But for right now, the party's over, so I hope you don't spend any more money, at least not until August or September, Taurus, as you really try to get your expenses down right now. I think you have to do that. Okay, what does it mean to a Gemini? Well, Gemini, there's a lot of planets ahead of your sun sign, 6 of them. The 4 in Cancer, where the new moon is today, and then 2 more in Leo ahead of that. So you're about to get really, really busy, Gemini. But actually, for right now, there are no planets in the air signs. There isn't any reason for you to get caught up in the hubbub around you, and particularly not anything that has to do with gossip, because it isn't going to lead anywhere, and it'll be a little waste of your time, Gemini. So this is when you can be wanting to move or mend fences by getting together with family members that maybe you haven't even spoken to in a while. And that is a good idea, because people do sort of want to vent their emotions, but not necessarily in an angry way. They just want to get the record set straight, or they want to clear the air right now. And once that's done, people can have more compassion and be quite willing to help each other out. And that is something that you could participate in eventually, but for right now, I think you still need to sort of step back a little bit, Gemini. Try to be as quiet as possible, because you don't have any backup. There aren't any planets in the other air signs, and instead concentrate on home and family matters, because that's what really counts right now under this rather fabulous new moon we're having today. So good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Cancer? Well, Cancer, this new moon is fabulous for you. It doesn't mean that you are going to get everything your own way, though, because Mars is in your sign along with Mercury and the Sun and the Moon. But remember, the Moon is your own ruler, so it's very strong there. And it's being magnificently fortified by Saturn in Scorpio, which means there can be some delayed money coming your way, and by Neptune in Pisces, which means you could turn right around and use that money to make a dream come true if you wanted to, Cancer. So this is a wonderful time for you to mend fences, have compassion for people less fortunate. You could decide, if you get some money, to be rather generous, particularly to children, or you could be wanting to take a little gamble on something, because Venus and Jupiter are in Leo right ahead of your sun sign. So you could be coming into good fortune right now, Cancer. And yet, if you say too much, you might alienate people. And also, you may feel like clearing the air because Mars is in your sign. But where would it really get you, Cancer? Not too far, I don't think. Instead, you need to go ahead and work a little bit harder on your own relationships, because you are expected to be successful with that now, which is good. At the same time, you need to remember that Uranus is squaring your sun, and that means that you may be upset by sudden changes that happen, or sudden starts and stops. So there is an element of danger right now that you have to watch out for, particularly anything that's coming at you too quickly. And then there can be changes in management and in policy, because Pluto in Capricorn is actually opposing your sun. So if you wanted to argue about money, I guess you could. You might even have a reason to do that. But if I were you, I would step back and count your lucky stars, that there may be something around for you to work with in order to make a dream come true, or to help others, and that would make you feel good as well. So you are a lucky person. Just remember to count your blessings, Cancer, because they are around. Okay, what does it mean to a Leo? Well, Leo, yes, Jupiter and Venus are both in your sign right now, but Venus is leaving tomorrow, as a matter of fact, and it will go into Virgo. And Jupiter, which is at 25 degrees, will soon follow it, because by August 11th it will leave your sign and it will enter Virgo and stay there for a year instead. So this is a time where you really need to take advantage of your good fortune, Leo. That doesn't mean that you should be taking a gamble. That new moon in Cancer today is right behind your sun sign, along with the Sun, which is your ruler, and Mars and Mercury. So there can be quite a lot going on in the background of your life, and a lot of light as well. People can see what you're doing in the background of your life, Leo. So what you, I hope, are going to do is work on a home matter or a family matter and sort of get that straightened out if you can. And then you can be very optimistic and popular right now. But, you know, the party's going to be over sooner or later, and I think it's going to be sooner, Leo, for everybody. And that is because Saturn in Scorpio is squaring Jupiter and Venus in your sign. And when Saturn and Venus square or oppose each other, that can indicate a betrayal. And that's why the party is over for everybody. It isn't over as much for you, Leo, because you still can be generous and optimistic, but you do need to sort of hang on to your money right now or pay down bills, because you cannot escape them. You can't put them on hold, or you can't forget you've got them. They need to be paid now. And that is why it's really good for you to sort of curtail the partying if you can, even though you are in a wonderful mood and you're very popular, and instead concentrate on saving for a rainy day, Leo. Because as these two good planets do leave your sign shortly, you know, it could get a lot more serious. Those bills could really mount up, or there could be an old tax problem that you really will have to resolve. And that's why you should sort of get a jump on that right now if you can. Okay, what does it mean to a Virgo? Well, Virgo, this is a time when you've just got a tremendous amount of backup that is really supporting you. And the reason why is that new moon today in Cancer, which includes the sun, the new moon, Mercury and Mars, and Mercury is your own ruler, are all sextiling your sun, and then Venus and Jupiter in Leo ahead of them are offering you quite a bit of protection, and that's because they're right behind your sun sign, and Venus is about to come into your sun sign. Plus, Pluto in Capricorn is trining your sun sign, meaning that management is liking what they see in you, Virgo, and they are planning to take advantage of your realistic, hardworking attitude in order to do more problem solving this fall when Jupiter finally gets into your sign. Actually, it's going to be in your sign in another month. And so things are about to change for you, Virgo. They're actually about to open up and get better. But in the meantime, I don't think you have too much to fear right now, because there are so many good things that are about to come into your life. They're sort of coming up behind you right now. But you have so much backup that I don't think you have anything really to worry about right now, except that Neptune is opposing your sun sign. And even that you don't have to worry about, because Neptune is so beautifully aspected by this new moon. So I hope you're enjoying a summer vacation right now, Virgo, while you have the chance. Okay, what does it mean to a Libra? Well, Libra, this is a time when I just wish you were somewhere else, Libra. And the reason why is that those four planets under today's new moon in Cancer, the Sun, Moon, Mars, and Mercury, are all squaring your sun sign. So I don't think that home or family matters can be going along too smoothly right now, although it's a very good and strong new moon. It's just that it can be running counter to your peace of mind. There can be too much going on, too much commotion. And then Uranus in Aries is opposing your sun sign, which means somebody could take off very, very suddenly, or they could rebel, and that would upset your peace of mind as well. And then Pluto in Capricorn is squaring your sun sign, and that simply means that management is going to want to have their way, or if they reverse a policy, that can be upsetting as well. And so there could be news of a divorce, or there could be a broken contract somewhere around in your life. If it isn't happening to you, it could be pretty close to you, Libra, and that could worry you a great deal. And there are no planets in the air sign, so there's nothing to fortify your sign. So I think that you're going to have a bumpy week, Libra, and all I can tell you is that, you know, you can't control what other people are doing. And they can be upset with each other. It doesn't mean that they're upset with you, but you could get caught in the middle of a lot of stress and tension right now. And my advice to you is withdraw, because you can't win. So don't get in the middle of somebody else's fight right now. It will only wear you out, and that is fighting is completely against your nature anyway, Libra. So try to withdraw in order to get a little sense of calm in your life right now. So don't participate in what's going on. And that is because you'll only be making yourself a target. And that's why withdrawal is a lot better for you right now. So I hope you do that. Okay, what does it mean to a Scorpio? Well, Scorpio, this is a wonderful new moon today for you because all 4 planets in Cancer are trining your sun, and Neptune in Pisces is also trining your sun where you have Saturn. So you can be pretty strict about money right now, or you can be feeling very frugal, and you can be thinking about what comes next. If you have some delayed money that can be coming into you, or some money that you've sort of saved for a rainy day, you may want to spend it on making a dream come true because Neptune is so strong, and it is in Pisces, and it is fortifying your sun sign. Or you may want to attend to home matters. You may want to buy and sell or move or redecorate right now, or simply move in with somebody else and cut your costs. That would be a good idea too, in order to save money for a rainy day. So I think that you're in a very strong position right now, and you're going to be able to direct your resources and your energy for the most benefit, as you may try to mend fences with people, or what I think is that they're going to try to mend fences with you. They are going to try to settle some scores, not by attacking you, but by clearing the air, because everybody wants to get on with their life right now, and that's why it's good to mend fences or just sort of ease up and get along with people. And I think that you're willing to do that, Scorpio, in a just and fair way. And also you may decide to end one thing. Remember, Cancer rules endings, in order to go after a dream that you're very fond of. So good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Sagittarius? Well, Sagittarius, this is a time when you just have got to go forward right now, Sagittarius, because nothing's stopping you. Uranus in Aries is trining your sun, and Jupiter and Venus are trining your sun from Leo, but they're not going to stay like that, and that is why you have no time to lose, Sagittarius. Take advantage of the fact that Saturn is not in your sun sign the way it has been for most of the year, and go ahead and move forward with something now while you have some popular support for that. And it could involve something new and unusual. It also could involve some sort of quick trip or quick course of study that can help you improve and allow you to go forward in your life, because the emphasis is on mending fences, but you may not want to slow down for that, Sagittarius. So if I were you, I would just speed ahead right now. You can tend to family matters later. Right now you need to get started on something new while the stars are with you, so good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Capricorn? Well, Capricorn, this is a time when I think you've just got so much coming at you that it could absolutely wear you out. And that is why you must say nothing right now, Capricorn. I mean, zip the lip completely. Count to 10, count to 100, count to 1,000 or 100,000, because you cannot afford to say what's really on your mind right now, not with 4 planets in Cancer today opposing your sun sign. There could be a matter involving finances, since Mars is opposing Pluto in your sun sign, and it isn't going to be resolved at the moment, particularly even if you are 100% right on something. Other people are not going to be willing to listen to that right now. They're too stirred up, actually. You'd have to wait until there was a calmer time for you to present your point of view. And that could be as early as the middle of August. In about 1 more month, you could present your point of view. But you can't win right now, Capricorn. That's why you need to not walk into any kind of a trap. People could even bait you into saying things, and you can't afford that, Capricorn. And Uranus in Aries is squaring your sun, so there's always the odd upset that could be throwing you off base as well. So I don't see you winning at anything at the moment, but you're about to in another month. So save everything that you've got to say and tuck it away for a month, Capricorn. But do not take the bait of people who want to drag you into some sort of argument right now. And if they ask why you're not responding to their attacks, you can simply say that you'd like to think about it. And that's it. End of sentence. So be very careful this week, Capricorn, because there can be other changes around you that can really throw you off. And that is why you just have to sort of hold still right now and be real quiet. Okay, what does it mean to an Aquarian? Well, Aquarius, this is simply a time when I think that, no matter what you say, and nobody's going to be paying too much attention to it because there aren't any planets in the air signs. So save your breath, Aquarius. This can be certainly a time when you're beginning to realize how much you're going to miss somebody wonderful that's moving on, or if you were in a great situation, that has now changed, and it can be you that's moving on, and you can be realizing what you are missing. And so what's over is over. You can't do anything about it, Aquarius, except move on yourself. This new moon is 150 degrees away from your sun sign or in conjunct, which means there may not be too much of a need to mend fences at home or with family members right now. But Neptune in Pisces is actually right ahead of your sun sign, and it is very well aspected by the new moon, which means you may be involved in some sort of charitable event. And that could be to help those who are less fortunate, which would actually make you feel really good, Aquarius. So you can get out and mix and mingle right now. But I think that you are in a process of transition, and you just have to go through it right now. There's nothing more to be done. You cannot go back, Aquarius. You just have to go forward. All right, what does it mean to a Pisces? Well, Pisces, this is certainly a wonderful new moon for you today, because the 4 planets in Cancer are trining your sun, and Saturn in Scorpio is also trining your sun, which makes you very powerful. It can mean that there is some delayed money that is finally coming your way. If it isn't doing it right now, it's on the immediate horizon, Pisces, which is nice because that can help you make one of your dreams come true. At the same time, there can be people that want to sort of clear the air, and it is because they want to mend fences. They want to get something out in the open and get over it so that everyone can move on in their lives. Well, that's good for you too, Pisces. So if somebody wants to talk something over with you, particularly if they are a family member, why don't you go ahead and have that good talk, because I think it's going to end up really nicely, and that there can be a lot of forgiveness going on right now, and of course that's what your sign is known for. And so if your heart is able to rest and heal a little bit, remember all the water signs rule healing, then you'll be able to really go and follow your own star and do something that can either be of help to others or can really help you. So I think this is a wonderful new moon for you, Pisces. I hope you enjoy it. All right, thanks so much for tuning in. Remember, you can see the show anytime you want by subscribing to it on our website, starborninstitute.org. Bye.